Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
I put forced loss this game because I already played this game and I finished the game, but I clicked before it ended, so I have to force loss this game so it actually like counts for like the record because I already lost this game already.
Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook.
Coach, thanks very much. Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown. Haskins on 3rd down. And he fires one, but incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Throw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
So it's an empty trip. Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch, looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards the pickup there. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Looking to throw, Haskins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now Haskins to throw it. Forced out to his left. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on.
So I'm trying to move the game, but there's no force to watch on their side. So I have to make. I literally have to go in
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. Haskins gets him up to the line as quick as he can. Final play of the half, it's Haskins. And that is incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown board. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first,
well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second. From the 27, Haskins. And that'll be incomplete. He was trying to get it there to Vernon Davis, the tight end. And it's 3rd and 4. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Haskins to throw. Open man, it's Vernon Davis. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Haskins back to the air toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jump. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Uncorks one for Davis. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. He's got a man. Complete. Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home.
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. From the home of the Bills since 1973, there's a look at the newly named New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, New York. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Washington Redskins and the Buffalo Bills. The Redskins taking the field, led once again by a number 7. Of course, Joe Theismann's old number hadn't been used in 33 years, but Joe gave the okay to wear it to this man, their first-round pick, Dwayne Haskins. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they just...
From midfield, here's Allen. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Allen off the play fake. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. LaShawn McCoy, the 31-year-old running back, his first carry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The numbers last week for Shady McCoy. 17 carries, 63 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Robert Foster, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. And this is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Now it's Haskins. And he hits the tight end. It's Davis. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards there. Good for a Redskin first down. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
Jerry Hughes on the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Play action. Haskins. That's complete to his tight end, Sprinkle. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 16.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 9 carries, 52 yards.
And that's just not enough carries for a running back to get loose and really feel like he's into the game because they have to have enough volume to establish a rhythm, not just for themselves, but also to get in sync with their offensive line so they can read the blocks properly and they can execute them. I expect we get a minimum of 15 carries in this game, and the optimum number would be 20+.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Check.
Haskins now off the bootleg. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Mike 580! Mike 5-4. You.
On first down, Allen. He's got Smith here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. First down, and they're going to throw without him. And this one complete to Smith. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Allen hands off to McCoy. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. In on the stop, Mason Foster, who was 7th in the NFL in tackles a year ago. On 2nd down. It's McCoy. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down. McCoy, 5th season with the Bills after those 6 in Philadelphia. And remember, he had 4 or 5 years as a 1,000-yard rusher, but then last season really dipped down, just above 500 yards, only 3 touchdowns. Of course, watch the age as well. They did turn 31 back in July. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Haven't met a defense coordinator yet that thinks 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job. Hold him to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on first down. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Well, that's complete to Croft. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
To the air, Allen. That's caught by Brown for a Bills touchdown. John Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's a cornerback in for the sack, Tre'Davious White. Haskins gets him up to the line as quick as he can. Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Good yardage there on the scramble, and all of a sudden they're left with a 3rd and 2, much more manageable. To Thompson on the draw. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Haskins, flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. He was pretty good a year ago in college, getting outside of the pocket and making plays, but it's a different story here in the NFL.
Well, in college, when he broke out of the pocket, his receivers often knew what to do in a scramble drill, and defenders weren't quite as adept at that. In the NFL, they work on that as well. They realize once he's out of the pocket, you can knock a receiver down. You can take him out of the play that way. You can make sure you hum him up and make sure that you have him covered downfield. They do a much better job of it. He's got to learn that the speed has changed on this level.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Jones has it. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Hauschka adds the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Haskins, third and long. And he finds the tight end, Reed. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And they'll indeed go for it with Haskins. Jordan Reed has it. The 30, the 20, 10, touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, as the first half is winding down, and the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. A gutsy call, 4th and short. They go for it. Look at the result.
Yeah, not only did they go for it, they threw for it because, to me, it was stacked up for a run situation, strength on strength, and they decided to put the ball in the air, and what a result. Big-time play.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. And they'll keep it on the ground with McCoy. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll get started with a rematch of last year's infamous double doink game in the NFC wildcard round. Chicago on the road this time, taking on Philadelphia. And it's the Eagles who are out in front. Carson Wentz with a touchdown pass there. From there, we'll head west to check on the other team in the Keystone State, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Trent Taylor, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right.
53. Shot 53. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You better be ready.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Edwards. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first down carry here for McCoy. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. Bills are certainly happy to have a healthy Tyler Kroft. Remember, he had a season-ending foot injury last year with the Bengals in Week 5. So the Bills get him, and he re-injures that same foot in May in OTAs, but out there now and says he's feeling pretty good. Allen's throw is complete, and all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Lee Smith, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Hauschka to send this one away following the score. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. We remind you that coming up later tonight, we've got a good AFC battle in Baltimore. The Super Bowl champs, New England, in town to take on the Ravens. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys and the Giants from MetLife Stadium to wrap up this first weekend in November. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Saquon Barkley, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Haskins to throw. Got a man out of the backfield. It's Chris Thompson. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the New York Jets and the Washington Redskins. Out comes Dwayne Haskins to lead the Redskins, the rookie QB wearing that number 7 jersey, the 15th overall pick out of Ohio State.
Check right 54. Right 54. Yeah. We don't want none.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. That's caught by Trey Quinn. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw, Haskins. Escaping the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. A look now at the defensive starters for the Jets. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game is sky high. In fact, you'd absolutely be stunned to come away with a loss.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
They run with Adrian Peterson, the 2nd active leading rusher in the NFL. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. He needed a yard, that's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ja'Kai Polite. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Blowing that play up was Henry Anderson.
It always helps for a bit.
Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Now a draw play. This is Bell. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's 2 really good stops in a row. Back-to-back tackles for losses. I mean, let's face it, they are locked into what they're doing offensively. And now they've earned the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, haven't they?
Yeah, and offensively, they're going to have to do something else because the run game, at least on this drive, isn't working. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Darnold off the play fake to Bell. And he's got a noon one. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Montez Sweat in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Darnold. Caught here by Bell. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's Bell. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Call it a gain of 5, but still a decent ways from the end zone now on 4th and goal. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the 2nd quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays. Because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
One play has them up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. It's Barkley on the counter. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back, part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Haskins, and finding Davis here, the tight end. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. Now it's Haskins. Open man, it's Vernon Davis. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
He is going to be smothered in the backfield again as he ran into a wall there. Now Haskins to throw it. Completes it to Davis. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Watch the screen. Pass. Check 52.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. Broken tackle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Again, it's Bell. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. A reminder that coming up later tonight, a good one on Sunday Night Football. We'll see what could have been a playoff matchup a season ago. The Bears and the Rams from L.A. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football from down in Mexico. Mexico City, to be precise. The Chiefs and the Chargers going at it. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Haskins will throw. Being chased out left. And this one complete to Reed. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 27 yards there, a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll run with Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Haskins. And that is incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very 2nd and 1. Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Montez Sweat in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. Back now at FedEx Field. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. Throwing here on 3rd down. Darnold. That's complete. It's Bell. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Haskins.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. It's caught by Davis. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 33 yards that time. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Haskins. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Running for it, here's Peterson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Adrian Peterson, his first touchdown on the year, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown run by Adrian Peterson. Here's a throw out wide to Anderson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. On 2nd down now, it's Bell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Now Darnold.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. It's a gain of 34. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. Now Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Le'Veon Bell with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
So here's Haskins and the Redskins, trailing 17-10, 57 seconds to go. Their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Haskins to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Open man is Quinn. He completes it. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Haskins. And he hits the tight end. It's Davis. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here we go with Haskins, eluding the pressure right. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And a loose football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the... So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, you know, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. You have an injury from the last game. See how long they'll be out.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Well, this building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers. On first down, Stafford here. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Stafford throws complete to Galladay. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Danny Amendola with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Now Haskins on first down. Flushed out right. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 25 yards that time.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good... And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long, got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker Mason Foster, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
It's brought in by Doxson. The Redskins have the first down on a pickup of 18. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker, and his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Theo Riddick, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Prater for the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script play.